So Pulsechain has higher throughput, better security, lower environmental impact to the point of nearly none. Is a newer coin with more features, is faster than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has an $800 billion market cap. Pulsechain doesn't. Why? Well, we're new. We're on the way, right? Things will get better, in my opinion. So, like, oh, and for you listening, is that a forward-looking price statement? Nope, not a forward-looking price statement, not financial advice. So we've got a wonderful network. We've got wonderful features. We've got wonderful airdrop. There's, you can do lending on the Pulsechain network. There's projects that let you borrow coins. There's projects that there's stable coins on Pulsechain. There's all types of stuff people have launched on Pulsechain. Guys, the network is good. Works great. Oh, and the bridge is free too. Somebody set the bridge to 0 fee so that using the bridge has no fee, both directions. So if you go to bridge.pulsechain.com, there's no fees currently. In, out, either way, no fees. Now you're going to pay a fee on the Ethereum network. Nothing you can do about that. That's Ethereum's side, right? So you got a great network and you got a ton of free coins. And it's been worked flawlessly for 7 months. Go make it great, guys. Launch stuff on it, use it, build fiat on-ramps, make a money transmitter in your state, make a licensed money transmitter in your state, and you can, make the community better. Like,
Hey everybody, and welcome to another day on Pulsechain. And of course, we're going to be looking at Pulsechain and beyond, Coast and PulseMafia. And these two have something very similar. They are both onboarding people to Pulsechain. So that's going to be what we're going to talk about today. Coast is back up and running for registrations. We've got a poll in at the moment in the live chat there. Will you use Coast to directly on-ramp to Pulsechain? You or your friends, of course. Your word of mouth is very important to growing Pulsechain. We've got a yes joined already. In other words, you've maybe joined before the pause happened until they got some new financial arrangements. Number two, yes, you will join soon. If you're going to join soon, use the link in the video description. That is Brian, our community leader. That's his referral link down there. And he is number 2 behind Crypto Coffee last time we checked, which is the number 1 influencer in the Pulsechain community. And so, yeah, help Brian there. You get 5,000 weight tokens as well. Bonus, so that's kind of cool. Number 3, maybe. So if you're thinking about it still. And number 4, nope, you're not interested in directly onboarding. You like to do it indirectly. This is the way it goes. So get in there on that, folks, and that's pretty cool. Now we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Mt. Gox. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff. We've got Richard Hart, a little sneak peek. Is Richard Hart telling us something? We're going to talk about that when it comes up. And of course, we've got the rest of the Pulsechain markets to talk about, as well, of course, as the Coast update, and of course, PulseMafia, BNB Mafia. We're going to get into that as well. As you guys know, we're co-hosting the Syndicate, the most powerful crime family in the game so far. And so that's going to be fun to talk about as well. All right, let's get into it. Let's get ready to rumble here on the weekend. Now, I know it's only Sunday still, in the USA. It is Monday here down under in good old New Zealand, Australia, and of course, let's not forget the Pacific Islands. And of course, yeah, that's where it is. It's we're Monday already. We're in the future. It's currently 12:05 p.m. in the afternoon, and of course, we're having fun times. Very nice, very nice, fun times. All right, let's get into it without too much silliness. We got Brennan in the house here. So, hello, howdy, Suitman. Anthony, good to see Brennan in the house. And of course, we've got Wookie as well. Wookie is on the loose. Be wary. We've always got to be wary with Wookie. A big shout out. Now, if you're watching this live stream, we're coming into the live stream here. Get into the chat. Get involved. Love to hear your comments on things. And of course, if you're watching this after the live stream, leave your comments, and I always respond to those. So let's get into it. Anyway, we've got green markets. Do you like that? This is a Sunday in the US too, which is normally a bit of a sleepy day. It seems to be a bit more awake over in the USA. We've got $62,714 on Bitcoin. Up 3%, and we got Ethereum there is currently up at almost 1.8% at $3,435. Bitcoin dominance back over 52% as well, 52.47%. So we got the two leaders there doing pretty well. Now, everything's pretty much up. Solana's up 4.56%. ADA is up 2.29%. And XRP there is up 0.7% there. So looking pretty good. What else we got going there? Litecoin is up 0.5% today, $75.29. Is that right on that? Yeah. And Matic as well is up 2.3% there and 56 cents. Now, is that the correct price for Litecoin? Anyway, so yeah, we got the meme coins are all up. Everything's pretty green for the most part. Tron is the one that's down. Yeah, that's this one I was thinking of there. Got mixed up there with the Litecoin. We got the 12.4 cents just down slightly on Tron there. So that is pretty much where the lay of the land is. Green, green, green. And we like that. So let's zoom in on Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin quite a bit. We got $62,662 at the moment on Coinbase. And we're right, almost, we're slightly over the 50% way between the 50-day moving average, which is at 65,000, and the 200-day moving, which is at 58,194. And this 200-day, very critical point here in the chart. We're holding well above that. So not too bad so far. Now, we've got some change in the Ethereum news. I'll probably talk about that when we get up to Ethereum, but we're going to talk about the ETF there. We've got the latest update on that. And then, of course, we're going to focus on the Bitcoin dynamics at the moment. So at the moment, Bitcoin looking pretty good on the chart. But, of course, we know the third quarter is the weakest, right? We've got two things going on here. We've got the Bitcoin halving, what typically happens after that, like 2020, 2016. But we've also got the fact that typically the third quarter of the year is the weakest. And, of course, we just came off, a lackluster one for the last quarter two. And so now that we're, entering July, we're 1st of July here in New Zealand already. But, of course, US, that's tomorrow. We're entering the 1st of July. Now, in the US, of course, on the 4th of July, you got Independence Day. That's coming up. So we've got a few changes in the market in response to the SEC for that. We're going to talk about that now. So actually, we're going to talk about it when we get to Ethereum. And so, yeah, let's get into it. We got the Bitcoin halving. So typically, we have the couple of months choppy after the 2016, the 2020 halvings there, a bit choppy. And, of course, then we get the big hyper rally, the big bull market that everybody chases down. Just those sweet, sweet months where you get this hyper rally into the bull market. And that's what we're waiting for, right? And, of course, at the moment, we're still in this choppy period. And this might be a bit longer than normal. Maybe we'll have more of like this sort of 2020 period where it's a little bit longer because we have Mt. Gox, right? So normally pretty bullish 2-3 months. Maybe we could have a bit of a weaker third quarter. And where do we get that from? Let's have a look at the third quarter here. So third quarter on Bitcoin, last year was negative, and the previous year, 2022, was negative. Look at that, see? So that was negative. And typically September, if we look at the months, September is particularly brutal, right? Particularly brutal in September. But October is green, green, green. I mean, look at all those greens in October. So there we go. And we probably have a pickup in Q4. So I think Q4 is looking really, really good. So we're talking October, November, December. Yeah, this quarter could be a bit weak. And what's against that as well? Obviously, for Bitcoin itself, we got Mt. Gox coming out, right? So here's the Mt. Gox estimated distributions. And, of course, we're looking at around about 141,868 Bitcoin that was recovered, and maybe half of this will hit the market. We're expecting that potentially is early July, that some of that's going to hit the market. How many people will have diamond hands? You've got a lot of people that will be instantly rich. Of course, this was a 2014 Mt. Gox, right, hack. And, of course, they managed to recover 141,000 coins there. I think it was a bit higher. I think it was up to 180, wasn't it? I think they dumped 40,000 or something. And, of course, the total hack was 940,000 Bitcoin back in 2014. So, yeah, this is what we're expecting to hit the market. It's about $9 billion worth. And, of course, we're maybe analysts only expecting maybe half of that to actually hit the market. So you might, maybe $4.5 billion. And, of course, that could be in a staggered formation. But I find it very hard to conceive that people that have been trying to get their Bitcoin back wouldn't want to sell, right? They're suddenly instantly rich, some of them. So that would be pretty interesting. Now, we do see the average Bitcoin per individual creditor is at 3.23 Bitcoin each. Obviously, that's not the average. It will probably play out. There's around 20,000 individual creditors for that. So it's getting pretty interesting. That's $200,000 each. But some of them may have, many of them may be quite sticky and have the fact that the bull market's ahead of us. They know that these charts are in play, right? They know that the fourth quarter is really green, so why sell so early? And of course, they also know that we typically have this big rally following the Bitcoin halvings, but maybe that might be a bit longer this year. Maybe it will take until the end of September we get absorbed that selling in July, August, September sort of thing in the third quarter. So that's kind of the caution there for the old Bitcoin. So some pretty interesting stuff there. I think we're still looking pretty good at this stage, but yeah, third quarter could be weak, and that Bitcoin halving phase could be a bit later even. Even as long as into the end of September at this moment. So we'll see how the market goes there. But typically, if you're going to get a lot of people getting all that Bitcoin, they're going to get some selling, right? Because suddenly from 2014 to now, obviously 10 years later, it's mad gains, right? Mad gains. And people, there's always a part of the market that's going to dump that. Others will having a more long-term view. And they know the destiny of Bitcoin at the moment with all, of course, the Bitcoin ETFs and everything else is super bullish for the longer phase of Bitcoin. And so they may not sell, right? They may not sell. But then you'll have some people saying, oh, I'm going to sell before everyone else sells kind of thing. So you can have that battle between the long-term holders and the short-term holders that suddenly get wealthy through their Bitcoin holdings. Now, remember this point when we get up to Richard Hart's post. So this is coming up. So later on, just remember this point about who's getting the Bitcoin. What will they do with it? Because not only could they sell it into the market, but they could also sell it into stable coins and then move to other tokens like Ethereum. And so there might be a bearish, at least until September, a bearish outlook, a short term for Bitcoin potentially, but bullish for altcoins, including particularly Ethereum, Solana, and other things like that. So keep that in mind. So that is some of the news around Bitcoin. Now, we've also got runes on Bitcoin for the first time, and this is bullish for Bitcoin. So this is another thing that's going to be huge. Meme coins and stuff like that, a leverage play on their Bitcoin. And, of course, runes, meme coins doing pretty well, starting to get future markets and centralized exchanges, as well as these decentralized markets like Magic Eden. And we can see that we've still got Dog go to the moon. This is our pick, of course, for the number one meme coin. Now, you imagine a horse race. You've got different horses on different chains. They're all racing for the meme coins, right? We know that there's a bit of a battle amongst the meme coins, and we're seeing meme coins on Ethereum, meme coins on Base, meme coins on Solana, all making a race for the top. And Dog on Bitcoin is in the mix there. Of course, Dog is the most valuable chain out there. So we're going to see who the battle wins, but picking Dog for the win there as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now we're going to talk more about that in a minute, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about the Dog race there for meme coins. For this bull market cycle, because you want to be on the winning dogs or something. You want to choose them anyway. So there we go. All the winning horses, you decide. But we got Ryzik there is down, just pretty flat today. Ryzik, dollar of Nakamoto, dollar down 11% there. Runes, Pups is flat. $1 billion cat is up 4.5%. Lower the Wolf Pup, which is another one of my favorite ones, is up almost 15%. Looking pretty good there at 3.26 sats. The market cap 43 million. So a long way to go there. Number 8, Epic, up 11%. Decentralized, which is a Ethereum NFT team, up 4%. And finally, wrap up the top 10, Satoshi Nakamoto is up 12% at the moment. Now, the one I think you should probably look at is the Donald Trump. I think leading into the election, this could be a wildcard pick on the old meme coin. This could get a hyper rally into the election. This is the number 16. It's going to be fun to see that. So those are the runes, meme coins on Bitcoin. And, of course, we've also got the NFTs here as well. Runestone's gone to number 1. How about that? It's been a while since Runestone's been back number 1, but looking pretty good. I'm pretty impressed by that. That's number 1 by volume, by the way. 6.9 Bitcoin traded at the moment, looking pretty good there. So Runestone is what how people got the Dog token, Dog go to the moon. So and it's still got 2 more airdrops included inside it, and plus it gets airdrops from other teams as well from time to time. Currently $754 there at the moment. Now that peaked out at 6,000 when it first launched. Obviously, got shared some value when Dog got launched. So some interesting things happening there. I wonder what the actual total value is at the moment of that portfolio. Right, so that is it on Magic Eden. That's runes. First season in the bull market for meme coins and utility coins on the Bitcoin market. It's going to be fun to see that play out. I think you're going to see something insane happen with these runes. All right, we've got at the moment Ethereum. Ethereum looking even better, and Ethereum it's got a more bullish case than the Bitcoin. Obviously, we've got the Mt. Gox hanging over that, but here we've got the Ethereum there just below the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is $3,474. The 200 moving average $3,084 in blue, and we're right at the top end. So you can already see it's looking stronger relative to Bitcoin. And yeah, we've got bullish news around the Bitcoin, the Ethereum ETF. So you can see the Ethereum ETF here. I've pushed it out because we're expecting it Monday US time, right, the 3rd. But that expectation has been pushed because of Independence Day on the 4th of July. And of course, it's been pushed out to the 8th of July or beyond. So how do we get that update? Well, we've gone to our top analyst, Eric Kahunas of Bloomberg. And of course, he got asked, good afternoon, sir. It is start trading of the Ethereum ETF confirmed for the 2nd July? Well, he says, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to push back our over-under till after the holiday. 4th of July, of course. Sounds like the SEC took extra time to get back to people this week, although, again, very light tweets. And from that, I hear next week is dead because of the holiday, obviously 4th of July. In other words, it's been pushed out a week, potentially a week plus July the 8th. The process resumes, and shortly after that, they'll launch. So that's the current expectation. So we've moved that out to the 8th, and that's Monday the 8th. So it could launch in that week of Monday the 8th here. So anytime in here, and we're looking already good for the Ethereum. Now, this is obviously bullish, right? There's no Mt. Gox sitting on Ethereum. And so, this could be very, very bullish for Ethereum. And of course, that money flows directly into buying Ethereum there. So this could be pretty bullish there. So everything looking pretty good, however, albeit delayed. And of course, we might get some news around Mt. Gox this week for Bitcoin. But, next week looks like we could have news around Ethereum. And so Ethereum could start, moving up relative to Bitcoin. Obviously, everyone talks about the great flippening. Don't know if that's going to happen, but certainly moving up against Bitcoin definitely looks like what we might see over this bull market, and particularly in short term. So that is Ethereum, and of course, Ethereum hasn't hit its all-time high yet, right? $4,900, got to 4,100 in recent bull markets. Back here in let me just get rid of that little spot there. Back here in March, we got up March the 12th, we got up to about $4,080. So we're still not hit the all-time high, unlike Bitcoin, which did. So we've still got plenty of room to move. And this chart looks pretty good, doesn't it? This looks pretty good. So, and we got this big demand coming in from the Ethereum ETFs. Looking good there. All right, so that's Ethereum. Now, on top of that, of course, generally crypto, we've got the crypto market cap at the moment, $2.31 trillion. The 24 hours. So even though we've got Mt. Gox, sitting at maybe 9 billion, 4.5 billion coming in, that's definitely going to impact the market, right? But 24-hour volume over all the markets at the moment, 44.3 billion. So there's a bit of context there. And nevertheless, having a big Mt. Gox coins come in is still a big deal. Even if we get like 70,000, 75,000, sold into the market potentially in a staggered way. So that could still impact the Q3. Now we've got the meme coins, right? Meme coins are a big deal. So let's go to the memes. We're going to go to the memes. And memes doing pretty well here. Now, I want to point out a couple of memes here that have come up through the middle. Now, obviously, we've got Dog, which is the one we're backing for the win here. That's up 15% on the week, 11% on 24 hours, 609 million. We're expecting that to make big moves because it just makes sense to have the most valuable meme coin on the most valuable chain. That being said, of course, we have different cultures on the chain. The culture on Bitcoin is only maturing. So we do have to have a lot of that, what we see on EVM chains, go over to Bitcoin. So that's a maturing process as well. And so, yeah, more speculative versus store of value kind of argument there. But we also have, coins coming through here. So we've got mock coin here from Ethereum just coming out, I think, from Ethereum there. Is that Solana? Maybe that's the one Solana. Yeah. Let me see there. Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. Got that right. So we've got mock coin there from Ethereum. That is starting to come up through the ranks there. And you can see, look, I mean, we've had a couple of highs here. Look at the volatility you have to go through, though. Look at those down. You go up really high, come down really low. You go really high, come down, and now it's back up again for the old MOG coin there. Some of you may or may not have heard of that on Ethereum. We've also got, Cat in the Dogs world. That's doing pretty well. But here is another one here, PopCat. That's up 142%, and that's sitting up pretty high. I mean, if we think how far to the top there, we've got Dogecoin, of course, at $18 billion. But look at that. We've got another one really coming up with some big moves. 142% on PopCat on Solana. Obviously, Solana, VC meme coin city. And that's looking pretty good. $622 million. So some people getting very rich there at the moment, holding that PopCat. So it's doing pretty well. You can see some of the meme coins doing very, very exciting here. We've got some other ones down here. We've got Mitchie down here is doing pretty well as well, up 109% for the week at 137 million. Just not sure what chain that is, but let's have a quick look. Solana, another Solana one, right? So there we go. And let's have a look at that all-time chart for Mitchie. That is the chart having a nice little rebound there. But look how high it's been back here in May. 18th of May. So we could see some pretty big things happening here with the old Mitchie here on Solana. So you see what I mean? There are definitely some moves happening there in some of these coins over the last wee while. So some movers and shakers there. But hey, look, I think Dog's got a very good chance of taking on Dogecoin during the bull market. It's going to be fun and maybe end up being the first $100 billion meme coin. Exciting to see that. Now that's going to lead us into Richard Hart. Before we do that, though, let's have a look. So that's the kind of the market update today. Hope you guys enjoyed some of that discussion. We got Wookie in the house says, hide your pets. The Wookiees are running wild. And no one knows what he's talking about, but apparently pets do. That's why they're running. We got Tombo says, SolidX making some moves today. Yeah, we'll check that out on the markets, Tombos, when we get up to it. And we got Andrew Reynolds as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Big shout out. All right, let's get back in. We got Richard Hart now. Is he giving us some blues clues? Let me know in the chat there what you think Richard Hart is saying here. Does it more? Is he saying two things or is he saying one thing? Let's have a look and see what he's got in play here. Let's get into it. All right. Bam. All right. So Richard Hart here, he's been putting out a couple of things around the SEC. So, the court case is on. We know that July coming up is the SEC's rebuttal against Richard Hart trying to dismiss the case. And then in August, Richard Hart's team gets to reply to the rebuttal there from the SEC. But in the meantime, the SEC is losing cases left, right, and center. So the SEC here lost the Supreme Court today. They've lost 5 of their last 6 cases before the Supreme Court, if I remember correctly, says Richard. That was on 28th. And then another one came up here on the 29th of June. The administrative state of which the SEC is a member lost again today in the Supreme Court. This is not the Jakisi case. The SEC just in the Supreme Court yesterday. So, yeah, SEC under a lot of pressure. That builds, some momentum and confidence for Richard Hart to get dismissal, at least towards that. And hopefully he does, rather than having to go through information discovery and things like that. So let's see how we go. We got Richard Hart here. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. So this one here. What's Richard Hart telling us here? He goes, if the Bitcoin in Mt. Gox ever gets released, the bright side is that many of those coins could end up buying coins you like. What's he saying here? So he's talking about the first thing, the obvious one, that people sell their Bitcoin into stable coins or something like that, and then they go and buy their favorite coins. Maybe they go buy Ethereum, maybe they go buy Pulsechain. Or is he talking about himself as well? Is this a double meaning? Is he saying, well, maybe he was playing around on the Japanese exchange after he was, mining Bitcoin blocks and riding the waves between, 30 cents and so forth? Or is he talking about that he was used to play around on Mt. Gox as well, and he got caught up in that too, as he got a ton of Bitcoin coming as well? So we saw that about the average Bitcoin holder from Mt. Gox getting 200,000 Bitcoin. Of course, he potentially hold a lot more than that. So it'd be interesting to see whether that's the case. So this is a double mean there. Let me know what you think. The bright side is that many of these coins could end up buying other coins you like, and I like that. And of course, what do we like? We like Richard Hart coins, and so does Richard. Richard Hart likes Richard Hart coins as well. So that is pretty interesting comment. In fact, we've got a little video that I often play about that. So let's play that now because it's probably suitable. Let's see here. All right.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
All right, so that is kind of like a bullish thing, right? That can have many meanings, that video, in terms of where the funds could come from, etc. But pretty bullish. Brennan says option B. Yeah, option B. Has he got money caught up in that, and is that coming in? We already know, that he's probably got money everywhere else, Ethereum, Bitcoin, etc., Bitcoin Cash, no doubt, lots of things. And so, yeah, what's going to happen there? It's a quick question mark. So, option B, I like that one, Brendan. It does sound like that. We got Tomba says, I saw a tweet saying that Mt. Gox would only pay back $500 USD for each BTC, as it was the market rate. Not sure how true that is, though. Yeah, I don't think so. That reconciliation I just showed earlier shows you the distribution there, and that was around, was it 3 Bitcoin or something to the average person. So yeah, I mean, they get the Bitcoin recovery. It doesn't matter what happens to the price. The liquidator has to pay out the tokens actually, actually lost by the customers. All right, let's see it. Let's move on. So that was kind of an interesting post there from Richard. I'm going to read it again because it sounds so good. If the Bitcoin and Mt. Gox ever gets released, the bright side is that many of these coins could end buying other coins you like. Well, that's great. I like that. So bring on Pulsechain. Now that leads us into Pulsechain results for day 415. And we got the price of Pulse there at $0.0463 at the moment. It's just up a little bit, almost 0.25%. Currently still at a really nice discount to the mean sacrifice price, 46%. So bring on Mt. Gox if it's going to pump Pulsechain. We like that. And just another source of funds available. We've got PulseX there at quadruple 0231. That's down 0.5% at the moment, and that's at 23% of the mean sacrifice price. So lots of upside, folks, in the old PulseX. And the buy and burn, it's just ticking away slowly and surely with the better volumes. I think 907.7 million PulseX has been bought up and burned. That's now 4.48% of the public supply. So we're getting to 4.5%. We're very close to that. Incentive token, however, is up 2.57, $2.57. Man, I'm really botching that up. $2.57 is up 0.6%, and that is ratio is at 55,684. So the Pulse is up 0.25%. This is up 0.6%, and man, the ratio has just continued to strengthen here. Incentive tokens has been looking so good. We got the total amount of incentive tokens now at 35.5 million. In existence from the PulseX V1 farm, so it's taken away. Now, finally, the Hex, which has been making a bit of a move, is down 1% at the moment at 5600th of a penny. And EHEX, which has been the one that was really shining for a couple of days in a row, is now at 1700th of a penny. So this cooled off there on that move. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is sitting at 7300th of a penny. And of course, a lot of opportunity sitting there for Hex. So that is day 415. Let's have a quick look at the charts on the weekly. We are certainly moving up here, 34 on the RSI for Pulsechain, and you can see that we've got nice green candles here getting into this SEC period for Richard Hart and his court case, right? So we've got the SEC response and the RH response there in July and August, leading into October, right? So that is where we are at the moment, and I think the chart's looking pretty good. Now, I think a key target on the horizontal is to get up to over 5,300. So if we can manage to get a couple of weeks string together and break that 5,300, we certainly got it in the RSI. We've got all the room we could possibly want to move, and so we'll keep an eye out on that. But so far, so good. Let's see what PulseX has got. PulseX as well, looking even better. Higher lows in place. I mean, look at that, higher lows, and the RSI is a bit higher at 40. But man, looking really good. And of course, we start to get these weekly average here. So that blue line is the 34-day, and the yellow line is the 13-day. So imagine just 2 weeks and almost 5 weeks. And of course, we get the bullish cross on that. That will look really good. But if we have a green candle above that, we'll have an even bigger move. So that's looking pretty good on the weekly. Now, looking at the daily, we can see that we've still got room to move up, right? So we're at 57 on the RSI, and we're about to get a bullish cross. Look at that. It is very close. So PulseX is looking good. Is that the news you wanted to hear? I've got good news. This is really positive news, folks, that PulseX is looking good, and it may drag up Pulsechain as well. How about that? Is that good news? Now, Pulsechain is actually higher today, but you get my point. This is looking very bullish. This is what we've been talking about for several days. This is what we want to see, this daily cross looking very exciting. So we could have a big run on the old Pulsechain, on the PulseX, and looking back at that week again, if we get that weekly close and we get some more green weekly candles, we could get a weekly bullish cross on the weekly too, and we're only down at 40. This is extremely positive, so I'm excited about that. So there we go. That's some little alpha drop there today. We got also the incentive token looking super strong as well. Look at that ratio going up to the top of the range at the moment. So things are looking pretty hot on the Pulse chain. I know it's been a bit of a tough time for many, unless you're buying, of course, which means you've been loving these accumulation zones. But yeah, things are looking on the upside based on these charts at the moment. Very, very exciting to see where this goes. And of course, if we get over 61,000 and then we pump to 71, after 71, man, we could see some really big green God mode candles in here. Pretty exciting. So things are actually looking pretty good on the old incentive token. Now, obviously, we've got these macro risks. We've got the Mt. Gox on the Bitcoin side, but we've got the bullishness of the Ethereum ETF on the other side. We're probably more bullish for Pulse chain, right? So we'll see how these play out in the third quarter. But maybe Pulse chain will start to shine in the third quarter relative to the other chains as well. So fingers crossed on that. All right, so there we go. That is, and of course, Hex at the moment is just such a good bargain entry right now on Hex. On the weekly, we're down at 37. So that's what, halfway between maybe Pulse Hex and Pulse. And of course, a beautiful little accumulation zone here right now, 5,500 of a penny. What a bargain to pick that up. All right, so as the others turn around, Hex is probably going to turn around. Obviously, subject to Magic Carpet Ride buying, which could move Pulse Hex. So it's been moving Pulse Hex recently. We'll see how we go with Hex as well. EHEX as well, of course, had that big pump on the weekly. Woohoo! That's pretty nice, right? Really positive sign here. We're at 38. So let's see where we go from here. And of course, as you guys know, the ratio had gone down to 3-1, right? 3-1. I think it's weakened off a little bit, but 3-1 EHEX to 1 PHEX. So that's a real consolidation there as well. So looking pretty good. And the upside to the BankX wall, really, really nice. So people enjoyed some nice gains there. Bounced off 1/1300th of a penny. Got as high as almost 2/10 of a penny. So a really nice gain there last week. Let's see where it goes. But I think everything's looking positive to the upside right now on the Pulse chain assets. So great to be able to talk about that today. All right, let's go to some of the other stuff here. The gas prices. We're sitting at 387,000 beats. Not too bad. Only 6/10 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer. Everything's pretty cheap. Even Gwei on Ethereum being at 1 or 2 Gwei was still 382 times cheaper than that, which is pretty insane. And of course, let's go have a look at the validators. 48,373 validators at the moment. Remember, while the Pulse is cheap, you can pick up 32 million Pulse relatively cheap. You can set up your own validator, and it could be like a passive income earner. And man, when Pulse starts rallying to the upside, man, you make mad gains. So remember that it's very much harder to get in once Pulse has gone up 2, 3, 4x to get 32 million Pulse. So you need to look at that. Now, there is the DGN NFTs as another option, but if you want to get your own validator up and running, that's a good thing to do. Now, we know that Validator Store there from David Feder is dominating the validators, 70% through their validatorstore.com. Oh, the validators, amazing. So food for thought there if you want to pick up some hardware preset there from David Feder. Now, we've got the bridge. This is our health check, right? How much money is coming into the system? And of course, we can see we're sitting at about 102 million. This is pretty similar to yesterday, just slightly lower. It's pretty similar to yesterday. So we're at the bottom of that range. We got down, about 4 or 5 days ago, down to about 98.5 million. So we're back up over the 100, pretty good psychological level. We've got Ethereum, obviously, based on Ethereum price. What else there? EHEX there, obviously, after its little rally, just consolidating. And we're sitting at 29.1 million DAI at the moment. That's kind of where we are, pretty chill. All right, so that is the old Pulse chain. And of course, we're about to start day 416, which has just ticked over. So bring it on. All right, let's have a look at some of the other markets on the Hex derivatives. Let's see here. We've got Lucky, the 3-year Lucky. The 7-year Lucky is the Hex mining pool, up 9.3% for the 24 hours, so looking good. The Trio is up 6%, and a Decky, the 10-year one, up 3.5% there. The base is up 1.9% at the moment, and the Maxi, the 15.2-year one, is up a beautiful 1.8% there. A beautiful one. I don't know why I said that, but there we go. It's up pretty nicely. Let's go to the stable coins on Pulse chain. We've got LUSD. Is that still kicking? Man, it's volatile, but man, it is still kicking. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. Now, LUSD's had the minting caps, but the burning is going off really, really nicely. They're trying to target an incredible figure in 5 months, and it will be based on volatility and stuff like that, volume and volatility. But they're trying to get 10 trillion burned out of the 16, and that's the game there. Let's have a look at the hodls and see how much they've burnt. It's going up, folks. It is clearly going up. Even on the lower volumes at the moment, 4.2%. is now in the dead address there, looking pretty good. So this is happening, maybe not at the pace that they're talking about, but if we get volumes, if we do get a rally in Pulsechain, this might really start to run away. So keep a lookout on that. Speculative, but maybe $150 and something like this could end up being a lot of money later on. And that's why we follow these speculative plays, remember? So the other one is PDI, of course. That's the other big narrative, along with USD Tether, USDC, and PDI up 4.3% today. It's a long road to 1 cent, apparently. But we knew that we were going to have a bit of a cup here to get back up to attack that 1 cent line in orange. That's the 1 cent. We got pretty close, right? 92 hundredths of a penny, but denied, access denied. We broke down that upward trend, and we knew once we did that, it was going to take a little while to get back up here. And of course, it's taking a bit longer as well. We're having to have our second attempt, right? We thought we might possibly have it like that on the first attempt, but we're taking a longer road to get to there. At the moment, we would want to see some pickup, but it looks like with the Pulsex and Pulse markets moving up, we might get that pivot soon because that looks like what's happening in the market. And the RSI has cooled off down to 48 here on the weekly. So fingers crossed with that. Let's look at the daily here as well. Yeah, we have had a bit of a recovery the last couple of days. Was that the bottom in here on the 28th? Good chance of it given the way Pulsex and other things are looking. So we'll keep looking out for that too. We do obviously want to get over this line here of 38.700 of a penny so that you can get that upward trend towards that big goal of 1 cent. So that is some of the stuff happening with the stable coins there. Now, obviously, all the other stable coins from the utilities are all pretty much around $1. There's not much talking about them unless they really depart. Coast is sitting at 97.7 cents, and of course, that's just come back online. So it's going to be interesting to see Coast, how that performs. You can see how we came down. Look at that. Woo. No service. No service. You ring the service department, no one is answering. And of course, they've managed to come back anyway, regardless of still not being in service. But here we are back in service here now. So that is really, really cool. In fact, we might put that in the chart here. This is on the daily. We'll put on here the fact that it's back in operation. It'll be interesting to see how it performs now that it's back online. So let's get to that. So Coast open for business again. How about that? So that is kind of cool. And let's put that in there. So that is, we're going to see how it performs from this time. I think that's a good idea. Let's put that in there. So that's Coast, and we got the Coast news, right? So here's the Coast news. So if you guys don't know Coast, I've got a link, of course, to Brian's referral link in the video description. You can join up to Coast today and get 5,000 weight tokens. It will basically, you can onboard fiat currency directly onto Pulsechain. So a very important utility on Pulsechain. And here is the latest news, right? So we had the 30th here. Coast, a leading platform for on-ramping to Pulsechain, is pleased to announce the reopening of account registrations for users outside the United States, which is really cool. User registrations returned for non-US citizens. So that's kind of cool. You can use the link in the video description for that. The 26th, of course, is where we had the account registration has been turned on again at Coast. If you are located outside the USA, you are welcome to complete KYC and beginning to on-ramp. But now, of course, this is also non-US people as well can apply to use the service. Anyone who attempted to register in the last 3 months also got emailed an email out. So that is bullish from the team. Now, if you want to check out and say, say congratulations and all that sort of stuff, that is the Coast announcement. So you can check that out. Don't forget to give them a follow and a support and share it around because it's how it grows Pulsechain, right? People know they've got a direct on-ramp to Pulsechain. They can sign up to Coast, and of course, you can post that referral code in the video description that we've got. All right, Tomba says, okay, cool. So they get back BTC. That's good to know. Mick is in the house there. Yo, good to see you, CC. The butcher in the house, chop, says CCC. Talking about PulseMafia there. It's about time the Pulsex Dragon was awakened, CCC. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good there. All right, so let's move on. We got Coast is looking pretty hot. I think we can all agree. So the price is looking pretty, it's just below peg. I mean, this is peg here, right? So this is $1. It's below peg, but it's doing pretty well. I mean, the other utilities like liquid loans and stuff are still below a little bit there as well. USDL, PXDC, XDC. Kind of cool. And they're all backed by Richard Hart tokens, right? So it's so cool. Now let's get over to the influencer coins because we know how much you love them. You love them. We got SolidX there is up 34%. So this is Randy Alaski. This is Randy Alaski's whale friend, And yeah, this is it's made a bounce back on the weekly. Look at that. Whee! It was bleeding out for like 6 weeks after making some incredible starts. It was the high price, got up to $265. Can you believe it? Currently at $34 right now. This is Solid X. And someone said in the chat there earlier about Solid X, so let me post that. Give some. There we are, Tom Boss. Solid X making some moves today. Yeah, looking pretty good. Let's go to the daily as well. That is the daily chart there. Still got plenty of room to go up. 52 on the RSI. Wow, that's still got plenty of room to rally up there. We were looking forward to that. There's no RSI on the weekly yet, but not enough data. But man, that is looking pretty good. Look at a big volume yesterday too. Keep a lookout today. It is Sunday in the US, so maybe we'll have a bit of a chill day and then maybe start rallying in the rest of the week. We'll see. But that is at $34.65 at the moment. All right, what's the market? 727 million on the market, the way they set up their tokenomics. All right, these influences with their tokenomics. Axis is another one. What's he have, like less than 1% in the liquid supply, and then 99 something in the centralized wallet. It's a good way of having a huge market cap, right? So anyway, we got Axis Alive there. He's up 13.8%. Let's go have a look at the daily candle on Axis Alive. That is where we are. Let's go to log that. Bam, log chart. And that is the way that is looking. Man, that is kind of volatile, isn't it? Look at that. That's some crazy stuff there on the chart. It's actually looking pretty good. I mean, think back, it's got this big arc in it, and it's staying up in the middle pretty much at the moment. So, you know, not too bad. And the price there at 13. So there's a lot of upside if it managed to rally back up. Let's have a look here. So let's take it up to about here. Yeah, 450% gain if it managed to get up back to 66K. Let's be more modest, though, and let's say it gets back up to 2,400. And it's a good 2x from here, right? 100% just to get back up to some of these levels. Kind of cool. All right, what else are we going to say? Let's see. No token for Randy Lasky up 8.4% there at 2600th of a penny. Not doing pretty well as the old no token. And of course, Randy doing a great job out there. Steve Hitson is up 5%. Paul Pleb is up 4% as well. And Trayvon is up 2.8%. In fact, I saw Trayvon posting the other day. I thought he had disappeared, but it still seems to be around there. So up 2.8% on more token at 14 cents. All right, that is it for the influencer coins. Let's go to overall. Let's go overall here. Let's jump back down. So great news about Coast on-ramp, direct on-ramp back from Pulsechain. That is such a big deal. So kind of cool. Now we're going to look at trending first of all. So trending is Solid X dominating. Look at all those trading pairs for Solid X, insane. And of course, Pulse X 9-inch, 9mm is really doing pretty well, isn't it? Fugazi there up 9%. What else there? We talked about Axis Alive. In Inky, is it Inky there up 13.5%. Peach, we've seen that around before. Meme coin, I guess, 12.8% on that one. LUSD, we talked about that, of course, that's over 10% as well. And Fire there from Crispy Man up 10%. So the influencer coins doing well. One or two of the sort of oddball meme coins doing well. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Influencer coins are really leading the way here today on the old trending by 6 hours. 24 hours, probably not much different. Yeah, a couple of extra ones in there on the 24 hours. DW, etc. 9mm, the utility. Down a little bit there. Actually, I haven't got that on the list there. Pretty similar to the 6 hours. Now, let's have a look at the top coins by volume. And let's go to that. Yeah, Solid X still dominating on that as well, on top coins. And what else? Luck token there up 28%. That's doing pretty good. Luckbox token, haven't even looked at that one before. That is doing pretty well. And Inky we talked about already. Everything else pretty similar there. Wrap Bitcoin too at $147 on Pulsechain is up almost 10% as well there. We'll see how that goes with the Mt. Gox period, but that's pretty good work there. All right, total volumes at the moment on a trending $7 million 24 hours, so very on the low side still at the moment, and the 24-hour transactions at 173,000 are there on Pulsechain. So a bit of work to be doing as we move into the working week. So let's see what the volumes look like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday coming up. All right, so great news there around Coast. Now we're going to be talking about Mafia as well. Mafia had a bit of a cool off, but man, it didn't come down very far, did it? Really. It still looks spectacular. So we're going to get into that. What else? Let's go. Let's just get straight into it. So PulseMafia, as you know, we're co-hosting the Syndicate in here in the Discord. And of course on Telegram as well with Archie is the Don, doing an incredible job. You guys wouldn't even believe how much good stuff he's doing. Now, the other thing I would like to say to the syndicate family, you guys are doing an amazing, amazing job out there in the syndicate. I mean, you guys are just full of superstars. It really is cool. Now, some of the other teams think they've got some smart people, but we've got Mensa level people in the team. It is crazy stuff going on right here. So it's going to be a real battle when we get to that Mafia. And of course, the syndicate is the most feared Mafia team out there, and nothing's going to change with that. All right, so at the moment, we've got the price here at just below 0.2 of a penny, and we're pretty much consolidating. Look at that, 3 days in a row. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. We just started a brand new candle, of course, but look at that. That is ticking away pretty nice on this price chart. We've had a high of quarter of a penny. Quarter penny is the high, but we're currently at 0.2 of a penny right now. The volume's still looking very attractive. Now, volumes are very important in a Mafia, PulseMafia here. $26,000. You got to remember there's a 5%, or let's say there's a 4.7% buy fee, and of course there is a 16.6% sell fee. In other words, a 5% and a 20% slippage you need to buy and sell, and that is feeding the vault. It's beautiful, doing a great job, and we can see these prices holding up very nicely here. We're seeing more influencers covering PulseMafia. I think it's up to 10 or so. Influencers now covering PulseMafia, so it really is growing attention. I think there's an RH Max interview coming up soon. I think there was a C7 interview about a day ago. Things are really starting to expand in terms of number of influencers covering this project. Of course, we see people like Lick Gaines out there. Lots of crypto pride. There's so many influencers out there now covering it. It really is fun to see and exciting. We've seen KG from Internet Money cover it, and there's lots of people covering this project now. All right, so Crypto Coffee the other day covered this as well. So I mean, there's so many influencers covering this project, so crazy stuff. All right, let's get into that. So that's the chart at the moment. What else am I going to say about that? Market cap 1.9 million. Let's have a look at the market cap historically so far on the daily here, and let's go to the daily. It's a bit easy to follow. The top market cap at the moment is 2.5 million, and we're currently at 1.9 million. So we're holding it really nice on the old price chart as well. So if you guys want to buy some Mafia on Pulse, remember there's a 5% slippage, but it is looking hot. And we got our Don talking about 3 cents before the launch, and we're currently at 0.2 of a penny. So that's huge upside. And what's that, a 15x? It is huge upside there. Now, obviously do your due diligence, but man, looking good. Market Mafia. Well, let me just type this here. Buy Mafia on PLS. And that is the chart there for Mafia. And you do need Mafia to play the game. You need 2,000 Mafia to have a player. And of course, you do need 500,000 Mafia to join to make a family. I think they were going to lower that, so we might double check that. And sometimes, depending if you're going to join a family, you may need some funds to join a family. Now, to join the syndicate now, the requirement is lowered just because the market price has gone up, and so it's now a flat fee of $100 to join the syndicate. And of course, that gives you access to rewards on both chains because the syndicate is dominating on both chains, and BNB and Pulsechain. And of course, that gives you access to the rewards on both chains. So it is a real doozy. It's a real doozy. And of course, the $100 will be used to strengthen the family. Makes a lot of sense. Brennan says the OG NFTs are a hot item. They are indeed. We're going to cover that actually when we get up to it. So kind of cool. All right, so that is the Pulse side. Now let's have a quick look at the BNB side. BNB side's got a very different looking chart, but it's a very good entry for people to get into. It's currently at 0.004,100. Market cap is 413,000. So remember, we're at 1.9 million on Pulsechain. We're at 400,000 on BNB. Liquidity at 66K there at the moment. Volume is on the low side today. Sometimes it could be a couple $1,000s, and we're at $850 at the moment. So very good entry here on the old BNB. Same buy and sell slippage on there. Those taxes, by the way, that you do on the buy and sell, they feed the vault on both sides. There's 2 vaults going at the moment on this game. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's always good to get into a chart when it's looking like this on the other side. So let's jump over to the actual chain there. So if you do want to buy a Mafia on a BNB, then you can check that out. So buy, what's it? Mafia on BNB. That is the chart there at the moment to pick something up. That'll be a pretty smart move. And of course, if you get involved with the syndicate, then you're going to get some sweet rewards. It kind of makes sense. It's a quick payoff straight away. Kind of neat. Or you can just speculate. It's up to you what you want to do. You can play or speculate. How about that? That is the chart there. Brennan says 2 times less supply on BNB. Yeah, he's talking about the OG NFTs. So yeah, those have just dropped. We're going to talk about that. The great Wookie is of charts is saying 4 cents for Mafia on Pulsechain. Is that right? No, Wookie, we'll hold you to that. All right, let's get into it. So this is the charts. Let's get into the game. We're going to have a look at both Pulsechain and BNB quickly. So let's have a look at the roundup numbers. So at the moment, we are ticking away this. How many days has Pulsechain been alive? The Mafia on Pulsechain, 17 days. It's been alive there. Give it a rocket too while you're there. And it's been alive for 17 days. And already we have got 652 alive players. These are not unique players because you can have more than one, but we're still going up pretty strong. We've got 16 crime families, which is an incredible result within 17 days. 16 crime families, amazing result there. Vault at the moment, 2.47 billion pulse. Yeah, don't fall off your chair, but the vault is looking hot. Look at that, 2.47 billion pulse is now in the vault, and that's a whopping 112,264 US dollars. Man, oh man, oh man. Now, technically, the game is got 9 pre-live phases before it goes live. Phase 10 is when it goes live, and phase 9 is the trigger. Now, phase 9 means that we have to have 5 billion pulse in the vault before it goes off. So that's at the moment on a run rate of about $30,000 US in the prize pool. Remember, 10% of that prize pool every week will go to the top 5 families. It's going to be insane, and with a conditionality for the next 3, which is the top 8. So let's have a look at those families at the moment. Some big moves on overnight. The syndicate still at number 1, breaking away from the gearheads. The worth of the syndicate is at 265,000. The gearheads is at 192,000. Gearheads have been moving up nicely, but the syndicate over the last 24 hours or so, even a bit longer, has been breaking away even from the gearheads. The gearheads, they got big money. They got game designers, but the syndicate is still pushing away from them. And of course, they've got their own ecosystem with giftware. You know, they got their fancy technology, but the syndicate is got some secret sources going on there. And of course, it is doing extremely well. So you guys know we're co-hosting the syndicate. We got plenty of our own smart people in the syndicate, by the way. And so, it's going pretty well. You can see it with the numbers. There's certain things that, people know and people don't know. And we're looking pretty dang good, I think. Now, number 3 is the Yakuza. Who the hell are these guys? But they're doing incredibly, up 135,000 on the number 3 spot there. And, of course, they're based in New York. We've got the number 4, the Salamancas. The Salamancas have been making moves as well. Nunzo the Whale there is the Don, and they've been definitely moving up. They're back over 100,000 now, 107. Keep a lookout for these guys. I think these guys are doing some pretty cool, sleek little moves. And then number 5 is the Hustlers. They've moved up dramatically overnight, gone from 50,000 to 70,000 in the Hustlers there. And, of course, you guys know that is Lit Gains. He is in the Hustlers, and he's been pushing that hard, as you would say, going hard on this. You got to get some of those catchphrases from Lit. But he's been getting into that pretty hardcore and doing pretty well there. Now, they've been opening up tons of crates, magical crates from the looks of it. But they're open up lots of crates there, and some of their players are doing a lot of activity. Now, number 6 and 7 and 8, they're conditional payouts. So those top 5, they all get paid between 30% and 10% of that 10% vault payout every week, which is looking absolutely amazing now. Even at the moment, that would be $12,000, $200 every week at the moment, and it's more likely to be like $25,000 by the time the game starts a week, getting allocated to these families. We do have 3 conditional spots here. We've got the Mugnails, the Original Gangsters, and Grand Clan. Now, Grand Clan have been putting out a lot of threats out there, talking about how much they're going to do. I love it. So big shout out to Handsy Crypto out there. We wish you well. We also got the Mugnails and the OG Gangsters. OG Gangsters are still number 1 over on BNB. We'll check that out in a minute. But they all got conditional payouts here of 5%. And then we've got, obviously, the rest of the families lined up there. The Costa Nostras, the Trump family there from Briz. Brizology talks up a big talk, but, of course, we all know who likes more Hex payouts more than Briz, and that's the old Superman. Then we got Supremo Stacchino there at number 11, La Mano Nera at number 12, and, of course, the Chinese Triads at number 14. The Greys there from Coach X, another token ecosystem in the place. We just interviewed them recently with Hayden covering the PDGC and, of course, the UFO tokens, sitting at number 15, and that is looking pretty good. So you can see the families are going up, the players are going up, the families are doing a great job, and, of course, we've seen crates is extremely popular. We obviously covered keys the other day. Keys have just been launched, and now we've got 2 new reward categories. Not only do we have all the standard in-game assets you can win by buying a key. Now, keys are $20. You can use PulseX incentive or eDie to buy them. And, of course, everyone's after the keys because they're giving a chance of winning. Now, we've got these 2 new winning categories. Keys, you can win 1 game key. You can win up to 100 game keys. That would be absolutely crazy, right? I mean, 100 game keys. You're talking about 100 game keys times $20. That is a whopping $2,000 prize at the bottom there. That is what people are after. And then on the top of that, we've got the Mafia. Look at that Mafia. Woohoo! You can win 10,000 Mafia all the way to 5 million. The only person I know so far who's won one of these was someone that won 15,000, but there's up to 5 million Mafia at the moment. And you guys know 5 million Mafia. That is insane. Let's pop that into the calculator. 5 million. 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a whopping prize of $9,800 right now. Just if you win that, man, oh man, oh man. That is, if you want 5 million Mafia tokens, that is almost a $10,000 prize. That's insane. And if Mafia goes up 15x, it could be like $150,000 worth. So some insane opportunities here in the game. And of course, you have to buy a crate there, but $20 worth of punt there every now and then. Do some random ones, and you never know your luck, right? This is also true on BNB, so it's on Pulsechain and BNB. So that mechanism. Now, obviously, looking pretty good there. The market, of course, is the new. You got see it's got new on there. Market has been hot. A lot of people trading on the market. We can see we've had 608 items sold for 83 million Pulse so far, but that I don't believe that includes the Mafia. The Mafia is the main token that's being traded, and of course, that's feeding the vault, right? So this market's the crates are feeding the vault, the market's feeding the vault, the buy and sell taxes are feeding the vault, and the vault is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's lots more in store coming up with this game later in the future. So this game is looking like fantastic. Now, you can do different type of auctions, right? Just to go through the auctions, you can list an item. You can select the item there. For example, you could put in a 300 health there, and you can set a fixed price auction. You can put it to auction there and set the starting price. So maybe you wanted to make $200. You could set the starting price at $100. And, good luck to you. Obviously, you need to see what's happening in the market to see whether it's a reasonable deal. It has got checked latest there. So the latest one here for 300 hearts sold at $26, $65, $30. So there's a nice little a quick check there. If you hit highlight your mouse over it. And, of course, you can check what you want to get paid out, Pulse or Mafia. Now, if you are bidding on something that's requiring Pulse and you have Mafia and you use Mafia, what it's going to do. It's going to sell that Mafia on the market, and of course you get the 16.6% tax. So remember that. Don't fall for that one if that's not what you intended. There is only 20% tax on Pulsechain on the Pulse transfer. That goes to the vault. There's no fee on the Mafia, but you must make sure that the token you're bidding on doesn't have Pulse on it. It does have Mafia. That makes sense. So, and then of course you can choose between 30 minutes, 3 hours, 12 hours, and 3 days. So 72 hours there on your auction period, and then confirm the listing. And, of course, you can see how many listings are up right now, heaps of them. So these listings on the homepage just show you the next one that's about to expire. We can see we've got 500 bullets, $50,000 cash, $100,000 car, etc. So that is it. But you can also use the filter. You can go to the filter item over here, and you can look for shop items, for example, and it will bring up the shop items there. Sometimes you might need to refresh the page if it's showing up some things that shouldn't be there. But once you do that, it should be working fine. And, so we can see all the guns at the moment. This one here, 26 minutes, this grenade's going to finish bidding $15. It's a pretty good value. You have to decide what's good, but typically crates are $20. So it gives you a reference point as well. So pretty good in there. Now the new items that's launched, of course, is these wrapped NFTs. So these are OG NFTs. They got distributed to the people playing the game. Let's go to the wiki and we can see what that's all about. But we've got these OG NFTs. Look at them. They've got these cool little pictures here. And the people got them up on the market, and they're very popular. People after these, right? But they're getting more expensive. I've noticed they're getting more expensive on these tokens. So let's have a look. They're going to entitle you, as far as we know, to 5 keys a month. Every 30 days, you get 5 keys by holding them, and they are pretty popular. They're going to be pretty popular. So let's go down here. We've got keys. We've got keys. That's another update, right? The keys. You got to read that. It's important to read those. But we're going to jump to, I think it was down here. Was it down here? It's pretty sure it was somewhere down here. Let me find it. I could be going in the wrong place, wrong direction. Let's see here. OG NFTs, yeah, all original gangster NFTs. So that's the one down right down the bottom here. And we've got this update. This is update. If you missed it yesterday, I'm going to read it out now. But holding it, so yesterday, everybody, all the OGs got this. So if you're on TYCZ or TRH and you got dropped your Mafia tokens, you're going to drop this OG, and you had NFTs over there. So TYCZ, you get NFTs in the sacrifice, and if you're a TRH, you could have bought or sold them on the markets, etc. For NFTs. Some people got a few free ones too on some giveaways. But basically, if you had those, then you would have got this new OG NFT, which is this one here. It gives you entitlement to 5 key drops, which is like $100 every month, right? So it gives you an idea of some value there. Holding OG NFT is a way to show your support to the game. All players who have one of these are considered premium players. Holders receive rewards and airdrops as the game plays out. There's going to be more than just that. There's going to be other things dropped to these OG NFT holders. So there's a lot of implied value in these tokens, and that's why probably the price has been going up in the market, right? Seeing more trades. So if we go to history, we can kind of get an idea of. Let me just refresh this. Just get that going. So we're going to go wrapped NFTs. We can see that the prices have actually gone up, right? So we've got a couple of sales here at $200 now. These are fixed buys. We've had a couple of auctions that have gone through. I don't think these ones had any bids on them, but we've had other ones. Yeah, these ones have all fallen, all finished. I don't think they traded, but we've definitely been having a higher price in some of these auctions. I'm on the wrong tab here. Oh, sorry, I'm on history. We go to history. I ended up on marketplace. So yeah, we've had $195, $200. We were at $175, and I think the prices were as low as about sort of $80. And they've all gone up. So you can see all these ones here, 150, 160, but the prices have been going up slowly. So that's been pretty interesting on that. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. They have a pretty high value in the game, so they're pretty useful for that too. Right. Let's jump over to the descriptions. Holding OG NFTs is a way to show your support to the game. Obviously, it makes you a premium player holding them. Rewards, you only receive rewards for your OG NFT if you have deposited into the game. In other words, it shows up in your wallet, but if you're going to deposit in the game, it's very important. So if you go to let's go to let's go to crates. Basically it would show up, and if it's in your NFTs, it's not in the game, but you can put it into the game and it will show up over on the inventory there on the game. So yeah, if you had some, I don't have any in this wallet, but if you had some, that's where they would show up, right? Show you a picture. I might as well show you a picture of that. Actually, let's leave that one at the moment. All right, so that is the details there. Depositing the OG NFT into the game increases your profile's worth significantly, and you can work that out for yourself. That is pretty good. If you didn't already get one from the initial distribution, your only hope is the marketplace, and that's why we've seen a lot of activity in the marketplace for those. And of course, all you have to do is go to the market, and then of course you can filter and go to wrapped NFTs, and that will bring up these OG, and of course you get airdrops from those, right? Keys and other things in the game. So pretty important, and they're worth quite a bit in your inventory value, which also lifts your family value, right? So remember that. How was OG NFTs distributed? All OG NFTs were given to users who held TRH OG NFTs, or those who participated in the adoption lobby. Remember TYCZ there. Total supply. Now this is really important, really important. Supply, Pulsechain, 1,693. That's all that's out there. Think about it like market cap. You know how we got a market cap for Mafia? We got the market cap at 1.9 million over on Pulsechain. We got the market cap on BNB at 430,000. Well, you think about this token, there's only these amounts, 1,693 on Pulsechain, and BNB's even rarer at 578. Now, there's different game momentum and dynamics over on each chain. Obviously, Pulsechain getting a lot more favorite at the moment. But man, that's pretty rare on the BNB as well. And yeah, so they've been going, the price has been going up. I mean, look, the last couple of trades were at $200. So all you have to do is to do that, get the market for these OG NFTs, which are going to have all sorts of kind of drops and things, is at, they are basically premium player, right? So 1,693 times $200 for the last market trade. That's a market cap of $338,000. And of course, these were down even lower than that, right? So that's kind of almost like a 2x in market cap so far, over 2x, probably 2.2, 2.3, since we were down at $80 or so for these. So no one really was trying to work out what was the price, but the market's now pushed the price up because they're starting to understand these are actually worth a lot more because they're worth a lot to your inventory, worth a lot to your family, but they're also potentially worth a lot to you in terms of in-game airdrops and things like that. So really, really important part of the game. And yeah, looking pretty good. The only way you can get them now is on the market, though. So the original OGs got them. Some of them are putting them up for sale, and they're making a couple $100 at the moment. How high will these go? Don't know. It's going to be pretty crazy. But we're, some people have got these on for 1,000. I think that's way too high at the moment. But will the market go there at some stage? Maybe. But yeah, we've got different people there: 250, 300, 495, 245. Where will the price go? We've got a couple of 200s at the moment as well. You can buy those now straight away. You don't have to bid on them. And then we've got other ones make a bid. So it's going to be interesting to see what that has got all on it. And of course, yeah, what are you going to get? Of course, you're going to get you receive rewards if you deposit them in the game, and all players who have one of these are considered premium players. Holders receive rewards and airdrops as the game plays out. Now, this is a big deal, and so it's been marked into there, right? So kind of cool. All right, and of course, we also had some news around keys. So keys in there as well. You can read that. But keys all the way up the top here, and we've got keys. So keys have multiple purpose functionality of the game. Some of the things you can use them for, all these different things. So keys are pretty valuable too in their own right. And there is a big list there of some very important things that they're invaluable for. You need to understand that in the game, particularly if you're in a hierarchy, because they're going to have ramifications down the line there. So yeah, what are we up to at the moment? Obviously, phase 5, the marketplace. Now everybody is waiting, especially the Dons. They're waiting for the Mafia map. It is going to be huge. It's going to help complete a lot of information needed for strategy and tactics, and it's going to make a lot of things change. I think quite a few things will change in the game, in the marketplace in particular. Mafia map coming up there, and of course there'll be headquarters, right? Headquarters for the Mafia families. That's going to be a big deal. So looking forward to that. Then after that, there's this new one here, trade ups. This looks new to me. Yeah, it does look new. They've added another one here. So this is another stage. This is brand new. We just saw this now. I've just checked it now. So we've actually we had 10 stages. We've now got 12 stages. Is that crazy? 12 stages. So they've added this new one here. This is hot off the press. Trade ups are in the house, and now pre-ranking as well. 2 new stages before launch in the game. I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but it's in there now. Good thing we checked the wiki. You got to keep up with this wiki. It's got little sneaky things coming in all the time. We've got trade ups and pre-ranking is coming up here. And then we've got our communications, our killer simulator, and of course, vault requirements, which you guys can see is 5 billion on Pulse and 500 on BNB. And as you guys know, the vault is getting there. Look at that, 2.47. So we are really on our way there. 2.47 divided by 5 is we are 49%, basically halfway. That's the easy way of putting it. We're basically halfway to the official launch. Now, it depends. The team has to be ready to launch as well. So that's the other thing. But basically, this is the target. And then, of course, in level 10 is the official launch there. So the big drama just now, trade-ups and pre-ranking. Say what? That's going to be fun to see. So we look forward to more info on that. Now, let's see here. We're going to jump into, we got a couple of comments in the chat. So let's go into there. Let me have a look here. We got Tim Top in the house there. What's up? Excellent. Good to see you, Tim Top. And we got Wookie says, what do you know? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what you're talking about, Wookie. We got Justin in the house there. Wild how the Salamancas offer no family share and have as many members as they do, says Justin. Yeah, all there's many ways of doing that, Justin, but it is interesting. They're certainly active, really cool. I saw them, I think, on X. They got a new X profile or something, and they're doing a great job there. We love it. The syndicate welcomes more families, more people. We love it. We love it, love it, love it. So the more the merrier. It is a big party on Mafia. And, of course, I said on the title of the video, Pulsechain and beyond. Well, obviously, Coast is onboarding people, but PulseMafia and BNB Mafia onboarding people as well. It is very much a win-win. So we're looking forward to the growth of Mafia, and people, more people will talk about it. They're not even on Pulsechain. We love that idea. Justin says, I love them. I'm not selling none of mine, says Justin on the OG NFTs. Yeah, very wise decision there. Brendan says 5 keys dropped every month per OG NFT, and yeah, and looks like other airdrops in there. I mean, it looks like going to be other things to those OG holders as well. They are considered premium players apparently if you're holding one, and you can buy and sell into it. Justin says, facts, sir. Can't wait, says Justin. Absolutely. So, yeah, look, we've got 2 new categories here, trade-ups and pre-rankings. They've just popped in there. We have gone from 10 to 11 pre-launch phases. That's pretty crazy. We've got from 9, to 11 new pre-launch phases, and then phase number 10 is the official launch, and that's going to be carnage that first week. It's going to be carnage. All right. So that's some of the highlights there, folks. If you wanted an update, we've got those 2 new categories. We've got keys showing up here as well, and all the different uses for that. I'll definitely read up on that if you're new, or if you want to see what's new lately. And of course, we've also got at the bottom, we've got OG NFTs. So if you want to, some of the things you need to read to stay updated, that's on the wiki. The wiki is on the homepage there. Just click that. Pretty cool. Now, if you want to swap between BNB and Pulsechain, all you have to do is hit toggle this and also swap it over in your wallet to BSC chain, and just hit the toggle there, and you'll be able to check out all the details here on on BNB Mafia on the BNB chain. It's got more players, 832 players, 16 crime families, same amount of crime families, but the crime families, there's a lot of different crime families over there. So different people running their stuff. The vault's at 101 BNB. Remember, the target is 500 BNB. I have a feeling that when PulseMafia launches, if it launches first, that BNB Mafia will probably launch as well, regardless of what's in the vault. I kind of feel that might be the case by the time we get there. Just seems a reasonable thing to do. Yeah, that's almost $59,000 there at the moment over there on a BNB, but things might pick up over there too, so you just never know how that's going to go. What else we got? What else we going to say about that? They've got the crates, of course. We've talked about that. They're $20, and of course, your BNB, USD Tether, USDC. You've still got the same prize pools over there, all the in-game assets. The only thing I would say is that they've still got the business class over there. That's gone on PulseMafia because all the business is gone, but there's still 70 remaining over here on the BNB chain. And I just noticed that I think one of them got taken out last night because we're down to 70 now. So still 70 businesses over there. The other thing, of course, you've got keys as well, and Mafia rewards up to $10,000 over there from it looks, or at least not 10,000 because it's not as worth the same. But 5 million on the old BNB. What's that worth at the moment? If you do win that, we'll give it a rocket. Let's see, 5 million. That's $2,066 over on BNB if you win the 5 million one there. So that's at the current price, right? The price turns around. That could go up to many thousands, even more. So just the way it goes. All right, so kind of cool. What else there? The family listings. Let's have a look at the rankings on BNB Mafia. We've got OGs at number 1, looking pretty good there. And that's run by Lucky. Now, we often make a joke in the syndicate. We talk about the unlucky life and death of Lucky, the Don of the OG. So that's a nice one out there for you OGs. OG's doing a great job on X2 promoting the game, really loving it and promoting their own fans. So a big shout out to them. At the moment, they're the first team over BNB to get Mafia to get over 100,000 worth. They're at 106 at the moment, but the syndicate is closely behind them at number 2 at 80,000. So watch the space here, folks, on this ranking. That's all I'm going to say. And of course, number 3, we got the Mugnows. You can see the Mugnows over on Pulsechain were in I think they're on number 6 spot. They're number 3 over here. So they're getting paid on the BNB side. Then we got the Yakuza. Again, they were at number 3 on PulseMafia. They're number 4 here on BNB chain. Whoever these guys are, they're crazy. And of course, we got number 5 here, the Illuminati, the globalists. They're over there at the moment, holding number 5 spot with 10% payout. Sitting in the conditional payout spots, number 6 to 8, we've got Costa Nostra there, similar over to Pulsechain, the Peaky Blinders, the Clan over here on number 8. And then, of course, we've got the Untouchables there. Crypto Pride, he's an influencer on BNB. Big shout out to him. He's doing a great job. And, of course, we've got the Cartel at number 11. Los Salvages there at the 13. Mafia Group 14. The High Table at 15. And Salvation Army with the most twisted game name is sitting at number 16. So a lot of action over on BNB too. And the vault is still very, very attractive there. I mean, 10% of that is $6,000 a week over there on the BNB chain. So not bad at all. And the crates are looking good there with all the businesses up for grabs. And, of course, the keys and Mafia for a win. And there's also the OG NFTs. So we go to the marketplace over there. It's a very different market, of course. It's running its own market. It's currently 25 items sold to BNB, plus, of course, the Mafia token are not included in that. So that is the total. And we can see what the type of prices are. You can obviously filter again. You can go filter any category. If we looked at wrapped NFTs, we can see there's a couple OG ones over there. very different prices here. I don't see any of these trading at these prices at this stage. You'll expect to see a discount on Mafia until the price of Mafia and the number of crates has gone up. They need that supply and demand on those two assets, but definitely people are trading over there. I don't think any of those have traded. Oh, we've had a couple traded, $99, $98. Someone sold one for $699. That must have been at the beginning. That's some crazy stuff right there. That's a pretty high price. He's not even getting that for on PulseMafia at the moment, which is at about $200. So someone was very lucky there. It was an ice pick. Congratulations to you, ice pick. He's actually in the syndicate. Not sure why he's selling it, but you get a bit of that. We got some other ones here. So those are the prices. We had what else there? $98 was the cheapest one. So we had a couple of trades there on the 30th. All right, let's go back to the market. That is kind of what's happening there. And I think that's it. That's all we're going to say. Yeah, that's going good. So check it out. That is the Mafia game. I'm going to switch it back to Pulsechain. And let's post that in the chat there. I think if you haven't checked it out, all the details are there at the moment. So that is Mafia. Join up, get a player, join a family. And if you want to join the syndicate, it's $100 to join the syndicate, but you get rewards on both chains. If we go to the families here and we have a quick look at the syndicates, the syndicate pays out 50%. It's the best family out there. We're not greedy, right? We believe in loyalty and rewarding those who are loyal. We've got a 50% payout at the moment, looking pretty good. 74 million pulse on the payout, looking pretty good. So 50%. I mean, if you look at some of the other families, look at the gearheads, for example, we're at 50%. The gearheads at 35%. So, you know, they're 35% there, and we believe in 50%. What do we got there? We got the Salamancas. Let's have a look at Salamancas. They're at 0%. They're not paying out anything to anybody. Looks like they're keeping it all to themselves. So you see what I mean? The syndicate really has that sense of Mafia family. Let's have a look at the Yakuza. Yakuza at the moment, that is sitting at 50% payout as well. So it's doing pretty good. And the Hustlers, let's have a look at the Hustlers. This is Lick Gaines, of course. He is 50%. So they've moved. I don't know if they were 50. Were they low? I thought they were at 40. I think they've moved. But they're at 50% now. So they're trying to be competitive with us, the syndicate, and the Yakuza there. So there we go. Let's look at the Mugnows. They're at number 6. They got a bit of a conditional payout. In other words, if the payout the following week is higher than the previous week, they'll get a share of the payout there. They got 50%. So nice. Yeah. So yeah, the syndicate is setting the tone there. And the families seem to have changed and are moving up their payouts. But the syndicate is definitely the top. And we have the biggest payout. We have the highest percentage. Of course, we're setting a trend there. Yeah, so here's the original Gangsters. They're sitting at 40%. But, of course, let's have a look over at the final one there, Grand Clan, which is making a lot of noise with the old Handsy Crypto. They're making a lot more noise. 31 players over there. And they got a 50% payout. So I think everyone's learning. Everyone's following the syndicate. They're very, very wise. Because we are awesome. We are awesome. That's all we're going to say. All right, let's close the poll that we've got on at the moment with Coast. Let's close that off. We've got 18 votes. So let's see what those breakdowns are. Will you use Coast to directly on-ramp Pulsechain? Maybe 44%. That's really good. It's a really great result. We've got 18 votes. Yes, joined already, 33%. Yes, will join soon, 16%. And no, 5%. So we got a really good result there. So very positive for Coast. Direct on-ramp to Pulsechain. Remember, Brian's referral code is in the link in the video description. You also get 5,000 weight tokens using that directly onto Pulsechain. Kind of cool. It's open to US and non-US citizens, so pretty much everybody, based on the countries that they have, which I think was what? Were they up to 50 countries or 100? I think it was over 100, well over 100 countries last time I remember. All right, see where we're going here. We got Justin says, crazy 1 million leave fee on the Hustlers. Yeah. Once you join Hustlers, you can never leave. You can never leave. I don't know whether they're going to change that or not, but I think the OGs have that too, don't they? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I agree with you, Justin. And we don't have that, right? You can pretty much leave the syndicate for free. And of course, yeah, it's just the way it goes. Now, we do have rules in the syndicate. So you do need to follow those rules. And of course, you know, people that break the rules, you know, it's not personal, but they'll be punished or thrown out. Just remember that, but you can make really nice yields. Now it's more than just the vault payouts. You get in-game currency rewards for ranking up your player from the Don and the family of the syndicates. You get that. There's also ways of getting specialty roles as well, and also ways of getting rewards for good performance. There's extra things like that. There's lots of different rewards that you can get. You can also buy and sell, of course, yourself on the market, so you can try and win crates. There's lots of things you can do to build up your own player, which benefits the family as well. And if you get more rewards, if you get worth more, then you get more of the rewards in the family. That's it. That's so good. So it's a really, if you love playing, play to win, this is a perfect game for you. Brendan says the Hustlers are pimping their own members. Yeah, they're pimping their own members. They are. Yeah, that's what Hustlers do. That's what Hustlers do. I think that's it. All right. Well, we've had. I don't want to talk too much about some activity, but we've already had people come to us and plead to get in because of how abusive their own families are. And we're the most feared family out there. So let's go show, being the most feared, you get the most love, right? But like there was no wars under Trump, right? And they were afraid of him, right? That's the way you do it. That's how you really play. All right, so nice down there. Some traditional mafia families there, value families from the Italians. Loyalty is rewarded. And of course, disloyalty is punished pretty severely. But anyway, this is still a game. But remember that, it's still a game. All right, so that's kind of some of the cool stuff there on the PulseMafia, looking pretty good. And these OG NFTs, of course, the latest thing to drop, as well as those 2 new stages are pretty exciting. Trade ups and pre-ranks. Man, this game just keeps getting bigger and better all the time. All right, so that's pretty much it at the moment. 0.2 of a penny for PulseMafia. We're at 0.04 of a penny for the BNB Mafia at the moment, and the game is looking lots of fun. And the syndicate is dominating on both chains. So what a place to be. All right, get into it, folks. This game's going to be absolutely fun. That brings us into the Hex Daily Stats. I haven't read this out the last 2 days, which is my bad because the channel is called Hex Token Channel. Normally I do it every day, but I've missed the last couple of days. Anyway, so let's get into the results for day 1670. We actually haven't got results on for Ethereum for the last couple of days. That's probably why I wasn't doing it. Yeah, we've missed 6 days. Can you believe it? 7 days? Yeah, 6 days. So we haven't had results, but we do have Pulsechain. So let's read out the last couple. We've had a couple payouts all over the 7. Look at that for Pulsechain over the last few days. So 7.2, 7, 7, 7.0, 7, 9. So the Hex payouts have been pretty good on Pulsechain. The T-shares, down on a lot of days, but up yesterday, sitting at 9.3 million T-shares at the moment on Pulsechain. And the rewards, modest penalties the last couple of days, 1.6 million today though, sitting at 66 million in the reward pool for those T-share miners. We had good increases in liquid holders, but miner numbers are down. 123,643 at the moment on the old Pulsechain, and you haven't had Ethereum updated for at least 6 days now. Hex.com, check it out. Links in the video description though if you want to start mining Hex today. And of course, yeah, those charts looking like they could really pivot now. That Pulse Hex incentive token, fingers crossed. It is kind of looking good for that with that bullish cross coming up on the daily. Not quite confirmed yet, but getting pretty close. So another day away probably. Hopefully a good Monday, good strong Monday will help us there. Brennan says we have a blood oath in the syndicate. Yeah, a digital blood oath. We have a digital blood oath in the syndicate because everything's digital there, right? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Pretty awesome. Hope you guys take care out there. I'm going to play a couple of promo videos, and I will catch you guys on the other side. See you again tomorrow. Peace out, everybody. Long live the syndicate. Long live the Don Archie. And, of course, I hope everyone has a good time playing the game. Tell everybody out there. It's about virality and adoption of Pulsechain as well. So do spread the word there, folks, that if people like to play games, they like to earn cryptocurrency, it is a perfect place to do it, especially while Pulse is at the current price. The upside is huge. All right. Take care, everybody, and catch you on the next one. And bye for now. I'll see you guys in Discord afterwards. Brendan and that are in there. Join us in the Discord chat after the live show. Take care. Bye for now.